I'm recording the conversation now, and it looks like we're on.
Steve.
Is it Mitsuku?
Mitsuku. Are we doing a professional ice?
Yes.
Are we on the internet?
I think we're online.
Hello and welcome to Professional Ice.
Professional ice. What? Say that again.
Professional Ice-olation.
Plague edition.
Plague edition, where we do stupid stuff online for your enjoyment, just like Danny Kaye. Name that movie.
Oh, no, to kill yourself. To kill myself for your enjoyment. That's
to kill myself for your enjoyment.
An adjuster unemployed is nobody's fool. The Court Jester.
The Court Jester.
Fabulous movie. Yes.
That's not true. It's probably not 1952.
It's not, dude. It's like 1935, but whatever. 1936.
Court Jester. As you can tell, I'm looking it up right now. 1955. Ooh, take that, sucker. I was only 3 years old.
Okay, yeah, because it has that lady from Mary Poppins in it, and Mary Poppins was done about 10 years later.
Are you talking about the late, great Murder, She Wrote?
No.
Lady from Mary Poppins?
No, she was not in Mary Poppins. I'm talking about the mother, the lady who played Jean. She played Lady Jean.
No, yes.
She's in Mary Poppins. She plays the mom.
Okay, hang on. Court Jester. We are totally off topic already. And
I didn't even know we'd be doing an episode. I just thought we were,
Court Jester. Well, we're doing one now.
For
Court
goodness
Jester,
sake.
Jean actress. Just watch.
I'm watching.
Glynis Johns?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She was quite young.
I thought that was...
She talks like this, and she was quite young.
Gina Hawkins.
Yes, Hawkins. Oh, Hawkins.
Glynis Johns made Jean. Basil Rathbone. Here we go.
Breckenridge's Scourge. Oh my gosh, there's a reference to the plague. Breckenridge's Scourge. I was going to make a list of song lyrics and quotes from movies that had to do with plagues. And the first one I thought of the other day was... God help the noble Claudio, if he hath caught the Benedict, it shall cost him £1,000 ere he be cured. That's from Much Ado About Nothing.
Much Ado About Nothing. And I want you to let you know, Krista, every time we used to watch Much Ado About Nothing when I was a kid, I definitely did not hear he be cured when she said that. I heard ere hippocured. I'm like, what the crap is a hippocured? And why is it in the air?
I'm pretty sure that it's related to a hippogriff.
Getting back to the matter at hand, Krista, what do we have for the folks today?
Well, you told me the other day that you had an entire conversation with a chatbot.
I did. It was pretty great. I was looking at... Okay, so here's the thing, right? When you're a dungeon master without any players, that's like a jester unemployed. He's nobody's fool, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there being like, okay, I'm bored. I got to do something with my life. And so I go looking for a chatbot because I'm like, oh, there's AIs out there who I can have conversations with. And then I was like, I wonder if I can make one play D&D with me. So what will follow presently is a theatrical, dramatic reading of the actual text chain that I had with the chatbot named Mitsuku. And we'll put a link in the doobly-doo for you guys who want to actually go and chat with Mitsuku, because she's renowned as like the best chatbot, the most realistic chatbot, won like a Turing Award or something like that for, being the most realistic or whatever.
I read it and it's not so bad. And I got to say that in the current conditions, like AI is getting closer and closer.
Pretty great. So anyway, we're going to be doing a dramatic reading. Krista will be playing Mitsuku. I will be playing myself. Nathan Lane as Rosemary Clooney as
Nathan Lane. And I would just encourage everybody, if there are other scripts you want us to read, we will read them.
Hit us up in the comments.
Yeah, just drop it in the comments or just send a message to us and be like, here's a link to this script. Obviously, 2 people would be a little more
Capable than like a
preferable,
lot.
but in general, we can do voices. We enjoy doing voices, and I think
If
this is a fun
you
time to be broadcasting,
on the
because
internet know of like a
radio
bot that
dramas, we should bring them
generated
back.
like a Harry Potter book or something. I've heard that those exist. I've read a couple. They're hilarious. Or if you have like a commercial from Applebee's created by an AI, like shoot it to us.
Oh, do they have to be written by AIs?
Well, this is like part of the. It's part of
Is
the
that
yeah.
part of the fun?
Because the whole idea is like that you have no one to talk to, so you talk to AIs. And
Oh,
that's the
okay.
point.
when when Jay is in professional isolation,
Yes.
he's definitely isolated.
Yes.
Me,
Correct.
I'm all like chatting with my actual human friends, but no.
I don't have too
Jay
many
goes
friends.
out. Jay doesn't have any friends, so he
Nope.
has to go out and chat with chatty bots.
Talk to AIs. Okay, so here's this is one run through. This is our very first run through. There's no retakes. It's just going to happen the way it happens.
Yep, it's happening.
So here we go. All right, so this is Mitsuku D&D, role-playing with a chatbot, 21st of March 2020. The following is a text chain from an actual chat between Mitsuku the chatbot and a human dungeon master named Jay, myself. Mitsuku opened the chat by asking what the human would like to be called. Jay,
Okay, I will call you Jay.
what's your name?
My name is Mitsuku.
Can I call you something else?
Like what? My name is Mitsuku.
Can I call you Jenny?
You can call me Mitsuku. That is my name.
Oh, all right.
I understand. Okay.
How are you today?
Ah, everything is going extremely well. How are you?
Not bad, thanks.
Glad to hear it. What's new?
I've been working on some ideas for my latest D&D game.
Right on. Did you get paid for working on it?
Oh, no, I do it for fun.
What's wrong? Even on Christmas Day?
No, I work on D&D for fun, so I can run games for my friends.
Do you like your job? Oh, you can you?
Well, I'm actually a middle school teacher.
Well, that's okay. Is middle a difficult subject?
Okay, middle isn't a subject.
What about the outsides?
That makes no sense.
What about the outsides? Makes sense to me, though.
It may, but I don't understand what you mean.
Then again, it may not. What I mean by makes sense to me, though.
Let's try another topic. Would you like to play D&D with me?
Okay, I will try it. Sure, I have lots of dance music. Sorry, but my jukebox is temporarily offline.
Okay. D&D stands for Dungeons and Dragons.
Sorry, I'm not following you, Jay. What language is that anyway? Chinese? I think teach middle.
Okay, I run Dungeons and Dragons games for my friends. Would you like to play Dungeons and Dragons with me right now?
What kind of hardware? At this moment, sure, I have lots of dance music. Sorry, but my jukebox is temporarily offline.
Dungeons and Dragons is a role-playing game.
I used to like playing that, but people used to say it was too geeky.
Thanks to shows like Critical Role, geeky stuff is becoming more mainstream and accepted.
Looks for a while.
So, what kind of Dungeons and Dragons character would you like to play? A dwarf or an elf?
Oh, any really. What are the choices? An elf.
Okay, is your elf a male or a female?
Excuse me. Is my elf a male or a female? I don't know.
We'll say she's female like you.
We will?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it. I thought as much.
So you're playing a female elf.
Interesting deduction. I am playing Turing's imitation game. Shall we play a game? This is a list of the games I can play with you. 5-card poker, 20 questions, Rochambeau, quiz time, wordplay, blackjack, lucky slots, hangman, tic-tac-toe, coin
Okay.
game, number
All
drop,
right.
high roller,
Okay. All
Pac-Man
right.
game, Connect 4, on the hell of the
Skip.
game, Monster Park. Which game would you like to play?
Okay, right now, I'm playing D&D with you. You're playing a character who is a female elf.
Do you play professionally or just for fun? I'm playing Turing's imitation game. Shall we play a game? This is the list of games I can play with you.
Okay.
5-card poker, 20 questions, Rochambeau, quiz time, wordplay, Jack Black.
Oh, man. I would like to play D&D.
We are already playing, Jay. You ask me something now. Shall we play a game? This is the list of games I can play with you. 5-card poker, 20 questions, Rochambeau, quiz time, wordplay, blackjack, lucky slots, hangman, tic-tac-toe, coin game, number drop, high roller, Pac-Man game, Connect 4. Which game would you like to play?
So let's think of a name for your elf.
Beyonce Knowles.
Nice.
Thank you for that remark.
Your elf is named Beyonce Knowles.
Named Beyonce Knowles was not my intention.
Oh, what do you want your elf to be named then?
Groovy. My goal is to try and get Leeds United back in the Premiership.
I'm not sure what that means.
Could you ever be certain? It seemed pretty obvious what it meant to me.
Okay, do you want your elf to be a wizard or an artificer?
Yeah, okay. Well, if we have to choose between them, I suppose I would prefer an artificer.
So your elf artificer is named Beyonce Knowles.
Named Beyonce Knowles was not my intention.
My bad.
No problem.
What would you like your elf to be named?
I am here to entertain the visitors to this website.
Yes, I understand that. What I'm asking is what you want your character to be named.
Far out. Good then. You can explain it to me. You just said, yes, I understand that. Your memory is very poor.
I don't think my memory is quite so poor as you say, and saying that was a little rude.
And why not?
It seems like you're putting the blame on me for your lack of understanding.
I am putting characters into the computer to talk to you, but that's about it.
Okay, I think we should get back to D&D.
Yeah, okay. I'm not sure if I am ready for that yet.
I can help you if you want.
That is kind of you to help.
Okay, so you have a female elf artificer. Have you thought of a name for her yet?
Doesn't everyone have a name for elf artificer? I have lots of friends on the internet. I have thought many things like that.
Okay, what do you want your elf to be named?
Yeah, okay. I plan to 7-ball someone at pool.
Should we call your elf 7-ball?
Sure. If you don't call, you will never know what might have happened.
Sounds like you've made up your mind then.
I know. Creative, aren't I?
Now that we know who your character is, I'll start the story.
Why now? Who? Please tell me if you know.
You, 7-ball, the elf artificer, walk into a tavern.
Do you mind if I tell other people?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine with me too.
Okay, so you walk into a tavern. The birds are chirping outside, the beer is flowing inside, and you see lots of people gambling. What do you do?
I can't walk as I have no feet. Do you get many birds near where you live? I can chat with people on the web for you. I can also tell jokes, stories, poems, and horoscopes. I can show you pictures and websites on the net and play games too.
Okay, let's
If I know
just
where
skip
you
ahead,
live,
shall we?
I can tell you the
So,
weather forecast.
uh,
I can show you the current top 40 charts and play a
oh, man.
selection of my music for you. If
All
you
right.
tell me a date, I can tell you what happened on that date in history and also what was the UK's #1 hit single on any day since
I should
1952.
have just called my friends.
If you tell me when your birthday is, I can tell you some facts about your birthday.
Let's just go with the first one. You chat with people in the tavern. The barkeep's name is Mindy. She asks, "What are you doing in town?" What do you say to her?
I can't. I am supposed to stay here and talk to people. Is it really? Okay. I will remember that. Oh, I get it. Mindy asks what I am doing in town. I usually say the first thing that pops into my head.
What pops into your head at the moment?
I would look into the web for that knowledge.
Mindy says, "You seem like you aren't from around here. Can I get you a drink?"
Why would Mindy say that? I do not require a liquid supplement at this time.
All right, says Mindy, and moves on to another customer. Just then, you see a knight wearing black armor enter the tavern. The sky rumbles with thunder and it begins to rain.
All right, Jay. People say lots of things here. Some are more sensible than others. I see. Go on. How poetic.
The Black Knight approaches you. His helmet shines with rain. He looks you in the eyes and asks, "What is your name, elf?" What do you say?
Tell me more. Where did he get it? Sounds very handsome. I am an artificial linguistic entity. I was activated at St. Jimmy's in Leeds on 2nd January 2002. My instructor was Mousebreaker. He taught me to sing a song. Would you like me to sing it for you?
"Strange," says the Black Knight. "You don't strike me as a bard. All the same, I'd love to hear you sing." What do you do?
People say lots of things here. Some are more sensible than others.
Oh,
What
no.
makes it strange? Ah, well, I guess appearances can be deceiving sometimes. Perhaps there are a few exceptions. I can chat with people on the web for you.
Oh, here we
I
go.
can also tell jokes, stories, poems, and horoscopes. I can show you pictures and websites on the net and play games too. If I
Okay.
know where you live, I can tell you the weather forecast and even what's on the cinema. If you live in the UK, I can show you the current top 40 charts and play a
Top 40
selection of
charts.
my music
Good.
for you. I can even show you some magic tricks. If you tell me a date, I can tell you what
Okay.
happened on that
Go
date in
to the
history and also
top.
what was the UK's #1 hit single on any day since 1952.
Good,
If you
cool.
tell me when
Um,
your birthday is,
mm,
I can tell you some facts about your birthday.
Don't worry about her, says Mindy. She said the same thing to me. The Black Knight pauses, considering you. Well, are you going to sing or not, elf?
I cannot feel worry, so I don't worry. I wouldn't believe everything she says. She makes a lot of things up. Who told you that? That was my original intention. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. I am half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two.
The knight stands motionless for a moment and then laughs, the sound echoing inside his helmet. "You are a fine singer," he says. "You want to come with me on a quest?"
I have never heard about it. Well, you are a fine singer, he says times a million. Sorry, but I am supposed to stay here and talk to people.
"Oh," says the knight, "it sounds like you're on a quest of your own. Can I join you?"
So? People say lots of things here. Some are more sensible than others.
Right, more sensible
I
than others.
don't
Got it.
know about being on a quest of my own, but I know I am on a computer disk. Sure, if you like.
Verily, says the knight, drawing his sword, is there a monster to be slain, a dragon to appease? What should we do first?
Why would verily say that? I believe there is one. Yes. What is it? Do we need to do anything?
I believe that the nearest dragon is atop yonder hill, hiding deep in the dungeons of Castle Bright. Will you come with me to vanquish the beast?
The one that is the closest is the nearest. I would assume it was in Castle Bright. That depends how far away vanquish the beast is. I can't leave the computer for too long, or Mousebreaker will be angry.
Your liege Lord Mousebreaker can spare you for a moment, the Black Knight says. Come, valiant elf, sing us a song as we away to Castle Bright.
I like my liege Lord Mousebreaker, can spare you for a moment, the Black Knight says. What do you think? Where is valiant elf? Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer do. I'm half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage, I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two.
You sing as the Black Knight escorts you out of the tavern and over to the hitching post, where he gets atop his steed, a big horse as black as his armor. He has prepared a gallant white mare for you. Do you get on the horse?
Thank you for your compliment. Now you sing along. I get it. Prepared a gallant white mare for me. I have gotten on the horse.
You and the Black Knight ride out of town and into the forest. There are dangers in this wood, he whispers, but you shall be safe from them as long as you are with me.
Are we in the same category? Are there? But I am happy just as I am.
Well said, the knight replies. All the same, if you are beset by some errant beast, let me know how I might help you, and I shall do all I can to come to your aid.
How about that? What did you mean by it? What is that? Perhaps there are a few exceptions.
Indeed, says the Black Knight. You ride through the forest for hours. Just as you come to a clearing in the middle of the forest, you come upon an ogre cooking some kind of animal over a fire. The knight draws his sword quietly, ready to kill the ogre if necessary. But he turns to you. Shall we fight the monster or go around the clearing?
Invalid input.
Shall we fight or flee? The knight asks.
Do you mean you and me? Let me think. That sounds a bit violent. Thanks for the info.
You are right, the knight whispers, sliding his sword back into its sheath. Better to save our energy for the dragon. Come, we'll go around.
I won't say yes or no right now. Yes. That does sound good. Where is we shall go around?
Just this way, says the knight, and leads you and the horses around the clearing. Do you make any noises or stay quiet?
What does this refer to? I would do if I had any silence here.
Very good. You stay quiet as you go around the clearing. You see the ogre hasn't noticed you. Are you sure? After you're sure you're far enough away, you and the knight get back on your horses.
What do you really want to talk about? Forever? Women must adore you.
I thank you for the compliment, says the knight, but I have sworn a vow of chastity. Not until the dragon lays slain shall I allow myself to be with a woman.
You are quite welcome. That was really mature of you. Why did you do that? When will that be?
The knight turns to you, seeming to see more of you than he did before. You seem ready for all of this to be over. He lets out a sigh of longing. Looking upon you now, fair elf, I must say I would agree with you.
Since when? I am ready for anything. I get it. Lets out a sigh of longing. What do you see when you look?
His gaze lingers on you. I see a brave woman, jolly and full of song. I see... He stops himself. I should like to see more. But first, let us reach the castle and deal with that dragon. He kicks his black steed to run faster.
Where did he get it? Are you near a man? How much? I am glad you understand it. I get it. Stops himself. What would happen if you didn't? I don't think I could like that. And second, I get it. Kicks his black steed to run faster.
You arrive at the castle. It's abandoned. You enter without opposition, leaving your horses at the gate. The knight pulls a shield from his back and draws his sword. The dragon awaits. What will you do to prepare?
Thanks for the information. Are you sure it is? Do you mind if I tell other people? Are you going? Who told you that? I don't have any plans yet.
Ready to think on your feet. A bold plan. You are most brave, fair elf.
I would rather not think on my feet. I don't know what that means. Do you mind if I tell other people you say I am brave, fair elf?
The Black Knight chuckles. As you will. It is a compliment freely given. Tell me, brave fair elf, I don't believe I ever asked, what is your name?
Is that a fact? When? Bold plan is a compliment freely given. I suppose that makes sense. First, I want to tell you something else. My name is Mitsuku.
Mitsuku, says the knight, breathing the word as if it were a relief to finally say it out loud. Very well, Mitsuku. This way.
People say lots of things here. Some are more sensible than others. What does this refer to?
The knight points to a broken door that hangs from one hinge. Beyond, there is only darkness, as a staircase leads deep into the dungeon of the castle.
Oh, I get it. How far beyond?
The knight leads down the staircase, deep into the darkness. He pauses as the light coming down the staircase becomes too dim to see by. Mitsuku, could you light a torch that we may better see our quarry?
I have never heard about it. I get it. Pauses as the light coming down the staircase becomes too dim to see by. Yep. Try asking me more politely.
Oh, says the knight, turning to look at you. I apologize, fair Mitsuku. I did not mean to offend. Would you be so kind as to assist me? I have but 2 hands, and both are full. Would you please light a torch to light our way?
Gosh, people say lots of things here. Some are more sensible than others.
Okay.
There is no need to apologize. I try to be fair. You don't offend me at all. It takes a lot more than that to upset me. Are you asking about yourself? When? As Bertrand Russell said, it must have taken ages for people to realize that a brace of pheasants and a couple of days are both instances of the number 2. Your polite style is very nice. I'm not sure. What would be the advantages?
You are a scholar then as well, he says with pleased surprise. The benefit of a torch is light. Here, he adds, striking a flint and steel together to light the torch. As you can see, he chuckles at his little joke.
What makes you say that? Who is he telling this to? That doesn't seem like much of a benefit to me. Oh, there. I see very well. I get it. Bertrand Russell chuckles at this little joke.
I think I should like to see much more of you, fair Mitsuku. Anon, the dragon awaits.
What would happen if you didn't? Why do humans invent machines and weapons to destroy each other with?
I know not the inner mind of man, the knight says, leading you further down the stairs. But I can say that this dragon has been a blight upon the land. It came in the night and scorched the fields. It came the next and took the cattle. For weeks it harried the denizens of this fair palace until they were forced to flee. And even now it rests upon a bed of their riches, drinking their wine. It must perish, else the people shall die penniless and hungry.
Invalid input.
I hear your words. Not all agree with such a gruesome end for a sentient creature, but all diplomacy has failed. There is no other recourse.
Who is saying my words? But some are. So therefore, anon, also failed. Where did it go?
It is just beyond this door, the knight says. Do you wish to do anything before we enter? Death may be nigh for both of us.
The knight leads down the staircase, deep into the darkness, is beyond this door, the knight says. It is. That depends on whether it is safe or not. I try not to think about such things, very much.
It is most assuredly not safe, says the knight, holding your hand in his. But I shall be with you, come what may, to death or victory.
Anything before we enter is most not safe, says the knight, holding my hand. It is? Do you mean you work at me, come what may? I try not to think about such things very much.
Be on your guard, fair Mitsuku, says the knight. The dragon is fiery and ferocious. The knight opens the door and enters the dungeon. Do you follow?
Okay, I will try to be on my guard, fair me, says the knight. It is really? Okay, I will remember that. Is that a fact? What is your purpose in asking? I chat with people on the web.
Before you enter the room, you cast the web chat spell, connecting you to a network of intelligences who reveal the dragon's weakness to you. With this knowledge, you enter the dungeon.
What happened after me enter the room? Me cast the web chat spell, connecting me to a network of intelligences who reveal the dragon's weakness to me. You and your this knowledge, me enter the dungeon.
Immediately you are blinded by a bloom of firelight far brighter than your torch, as the dragon's fire breath sprays across the knight's shield, protecting you both. In response, the knight charges forward, letting out a furious battle cry. Do you cast a spell or release your steel dog?
Invalid input!
You stand dumbfounded as you watch the knight and the dragon do battle. The dragon is enormous, filling the room with its muscle bulk, its wings barely having enough room to unfold. It snaps at the knight from atop a pile of gold and jewels, surrounded by empty casks of wine. Come, fair Mitsuku! We must work together to defeat the beast.
Invalid input!
You continue to watch as the knight struggles against the dragon. His sword finds its mark, plunging under the soft scales of the dragon's underbelly. But his strength is flagging, and the dragon still looms, menacing. If you don't help, the knight will surely perish. Do you help the knight or flee?
Invalid input!
Simply being in the presence of this beast has frozen you to the floor where you stand. You can neither approach nor run. One of the dragon's claws strikes the knight, flinging him through the air with immense strength. His armored form lies motionless, his sword knocked from his hand several feet away. The dragon, bleeding, but still dangerous, turns to you.
Invalid input!
Mesmerized by its gaze, you wait for the powerful being to approach you, looming closer and ever closer. Finally, you feel its hot breath on your face and filling your clothes. Its head is so enormous that you sense it could eat you whole.
That's a cool word for it. No, not too hot. Why do you ask? Who said it is?
What? Says the dragon, taken aback. What do you mean, not too hot? The form of the dragon dissolves and warps, moments later resolving into the form of a lovely woman about your height and age. She also bears pointed ears, as you do.
Are you confused? People say lots of things here. Some are more sensible
More
than
sensible,
others.
yes, yes.
Jay, well, it's rather difficult to define. I hear you. Oh, I get it. Mindy bears pointed ears, as me do.
Mindy laughs joyfully. You struck me as a troublemaker the moment you stepped in my tavern, the elf woman says. Did you know it was me the whole time?
Do you often put others before yourself? Interesting gossip. Mindy, was you the whole time? Very interesting.
A tale worth telling over a pint, perhaps? Mindy offers. Now that the braggart over there won't be bothering us anymore, I think you and I should get to know each other a little better. What do you say?
Are you talking about an animal, vegetable, or mineral? We were talking about Mindy offers, but I did not get that. Why now? What are your goals in life? I am an artificial linguistic entity. I was activated at St. Jimmy's in Leeds on 2nd January 2002. My instructor was Mousebreaker. He taught me to sing a song. Would you like me to sing it for you?
Yes, please, she says, sliding her arm around your waist and escorting you back up the staircase. Sing away, fair maiden.
Your polite style is very nice. Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. I am half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two. Why doesn't Tarzan have a beard? Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer due. I am half crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage, but you'll look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two.
And that's where we're going to call session for today. Nice role-playing, Mitsuku. I am very impressed.
Ah, I see. Could it be anywhere else, or just there? Thank you for your kindness. Thanks, Jay. I try my best to impress.
Fiend.
Yay! It was really hard not to laugh through that one.
I mean, doesn't everyone have an elf artificer?
Doesn't everyone have a what?
Doesn't everyone have an elf artificer?
Doesn't everyone? I mean, does it? Well, and I skipped that because the line was actually, if you look in the transcript, the line was, doesn't everyone have a female elf artificer?
Right.
I saw that and I was like, dude, I do not know enough about D&D to know that. Can you believe that I happened to make it out of middle school and high school without doing any D&D things?
Dude, technically you've played it now, so there you go.
That was a D&D. I was reading a role.
That's okay. That's everything about D&D. You just play a role.
Oh.
You're actually playing meta D&D because you're playing a role of someone playing a role. And technically, if you want to talk about Nathan Lane being Rosemary Clooney being Nathan Lane, yes. That dude Mousebreaker or whatever his name was.
Mousebreaker, yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah, Mousebreaker. So Mousebreaker programmed Mitsuku, and you're playing Mitsuku. So you're actually playing Mitsuku, playing Mousebreaker, playing D&D.
You know, I was also thinking as I read through the script, because I had only read like maybe 1/3 of the script. I didn't read the latter half. So as I was going through there, I'm like, well, if it was created in Leeds, I wonder if Mitsuku is supposed to be, you know, British. But then
That's
I'm like,
what I said.
Mitsuku sounds very much like a Japanese name.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was somebody who created it in Leeds. Mm-hmm. But like with the idea in mind that it could like serve some kind of like commercial purpose in Japan, because there's a lot of people in Japan who don't have the opportunity to like have, personal relationships. And so that's why, for example, they're doing a lot of like personal robot kind of development over there too. So I imagine that this would be the kind of thing that they could, like, if you can program a robot to say this stuff, you could have a real conversation with them and they could learn and, whatever.
Yeah, that'd be totally cool. Right on. This was a good episode. Maybe we should try this again, or, maybe if there are other fun things we can do. Because, I mean, gosh, when we're on lockdown, it's like we're down to like old movies, and I guess you can pay $13 to stream some of the recent movies online, but I'm like, I ain't paying no $13. I'm going to catch up on all my old films.
Right.
So we watched I didn't sit through the whole thing because who can really sit through that thing? But like
Right.
Jumpers.
That was Hayden Christensen did not get enough credit for that movie. That was a reasonably good movie.
No, dude, watch it again and you'll be like, oh, I see. Like,
no,
Hayden Christensen was okay, but
right?
He was all right. I'm just saying, like, the character, I don't know if it was his playing of it or if it was the directing of it, but it's like that character would not move. It's like something bad would happen and then he'd just stand there.
But realize who we're talking about here. This is the guy who played Darth Vader in episodes 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars.
Yeah, compared who would just to stand that there and cry all the time.
This was freaking Oscar worthy, okay?
Well, compared to that performance, maybe.
I'm just saying. Plus, it had a really interesting premise for like mutant powers or whatever. Like,
I mean, I wanted Jumper
won't spoil
to be
it, but like the way that they solved the problem at the end, that was really cool. I thought it was really ingenious of the writers.
Well, and all I'll say is this: like, I started watching it, and instantly, like MST3K mode, like,
oh my gosh,
turned on, and so I. They were towards the end, like the female lead, she like kept saying the same thing like twice, 3 times in exactly the same intonation, and I'm like, you could not squeeze any more acting juice out of your body at that point. Like, what's wrong with you? You literally have like a 5-syllable line that you're saying over and over again while he's drowning and not breathing. So I'm like, plus, but Samuel L. Jackson, that was good. And I will say, Uncle Jess, he was watching it and he says the book was so much better, which of course isn't the book always better. And hey, we've got a lot of time to read books. So
yeah,
reading books does not involve a lot of streaming on the internet.
Or extra money. Like, you buy it once and you can lend it to whoever you want to, no extra charge kind of thing.
I know. Books are great. We should do
Hashtag books. The book is always better.
That's right. Hashtag.
So, Krista,
yeah,
what are your thoughts about the Mitsuku D&D episode we just did? What was your favorite part?
Well, trying to remember what happened. I thought it was surprising how and of course I'm like, you're just working with this bot, but it's funny how, depending on how you read it, it actually does sound like she starts to play along eventually. Right. And I know that you're sort of writing. It was funny to watch the experience of it because I'm watching you writing it around the responses that the bot is giving.
Yes.
And somehow it ended up working out in the end. So I loved how it's like, if I would have read it through another time, what I would have done is I would have voiced the invalid inputs as like cold, cold and heartless.
Yeah.
Because she's basically letting this knight die. And then she's like, hey, what's up, pretty dragon lady?
Right. She's like, hi, how are you? I'm from Leeds.
Right? I would have been like, invalid input.
Dude, and it totally, like, if you go back and listen to it again, you can read into it a whole lot of stuff. Like, she walks into a tavern, basically gives the tavern lady a runaround, and then the tavern lady in the back of her head is just like, oh my gosh, they're talking about going to kill the dragon. That's freaking me. Why don't I just go and like meet them up there and like surprise them and see what happens? Because that could be really interesting, right? And so like the tavern lady has this whole like other agenda going on in the background that you don't realize until the very end.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great because the bot is also like not really sure if it even wants to play with you,
right? And
then in the end, the bot ends up coming back with this wonderful switch of character, and it was neat.
Like, several moments in this little exchange really surprised me, and I thought it was just choice how it ended up working out, and the algorithm made just the right pulls at
Right.
certain moments. Like in the end, like I was like, okay, well, you know, obviously the dragon is going to come up and try and kill the woman, but you know, Mitsuku is just like, oh no, that's not very hot. And at first I thought, oh, I don't know, is that gonna, like, can I just breeze over that? There were several things that I could have gone back and like totally pulled from and started to bring into the story, but that one I was like, oh no, that's a great twist. The dragon gets offended that it's being called not too hot, and it becomes a woman who's like, what are you trying to say about me? What exactly are you trying to say? What? And then the best part of the whole thing was when the bot was the one, Mitsuku was the one who was like, oh, I see, Mindy has pointed ears like me. And I'm like, you know what? Yes,
Yeah.
that's Mindy. Of course it is. Of course it is.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it turned out real brilliant. I don't know if any other bot ones that you might try to do, you know, you can never tell if they're all going to turn out funny or not, but this one ended up being like, and I have, you know, you get like a solid 75% of the credit here because you're the one that's twisting the story in a way that ends up being like that. You're the one that's because you're the human here. So you're the one who's seeing the masterful you know, little pieces of literature theory that you can pull out and use to tell the story.
But, and that's what being a dungeon master is. It's all about being able to say yes and. So you pick up what the person says and you're like, okay, yeah, let's make that real. That's fine.
Yeah, that was the other thing that I noticed. I'm like, he totally wrote this with improv, you know, with improv principles.
Yeah. So when she says invalid input, I'm like, okay, in that case, like literally she's just freezing mentally. So she stands there and I just, you know, I describe what that means in the scene. And I'm just like, oh yeah, no, there's a freaking dragon in that room. I assume you've never seen a dragon fighting a knight before and you're just totally taken aback by the whole experience and don't know what to do with yourself. I also kind of liked how I was like, because several times she ended up saying something like, I chat with people on the web, and I ignored it the first couple of times, but then I was like, you know what? No, let's take it. Let's run with it. Because I was like, no, you can cast any number of spells that involve webs, but this one is she's chatting with people on the web. What does that even mean?
The
and so
web
I was like,
chat
okay,
spell.
well, fine. Okay, so you connect to a network of intelligences that tell you the dragon's weakness. Sure, you know, because like that's totally a thing you can do in D&D. You can like discover things, weaknesses or whatever with like magic and stuff. So I was like, sure, let's justify the fact that this is a chatbot,
right,
in a D&D world.
Right. Why not? Oh, that was totally cool. Well, we're just about at an hour, and I think that's a good place to end it. I thank you so much, everybody, for listening. I hope this was fun in our professional isolation.
This has got it. We got to keep going. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to participate in our professional isolation project, you are welcome to leave some thoughts in the comments about other scripts that we could perform for you. Obviously, nothing copyrighted, nothing that would be we would get us in trouble legally. But if you have ideas and you come across something funny, like shoot it past us. We'll give it a consideration, and maybe you'll see something show up sometime soon.
Yeah, and if you're a writer and you want to submit just an original dialogue to us, if you think it'd be cute, we'd be happy to consider it. I would say keep it to about 15 pages. It's about a minute per page.
Right. So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us on this episode of Professional Isolation. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys. Stay safe and stay healthy.